All right, so now we've moved on to part 3 of our Beaks of Finches lesson. Okay, so here are the finches from part 1. Remember, we made a prediction about what these different types of finches would eat, and here are the correct answers. All right, so the large ground finch would eat these large seeds, right? Large beak, so we can eat the larger seeds. We have the cactus finch here. It eats cactus fruits and flowers. So you notice their beak is thin, so they can go inside of the cactus flowers and take the nectar. We have our vegetarian finch over here. Notice they have a smaller rounded beak. That makes them better able to eat these buds on plants. Here we have a woodpecker finch. We notice their beak is narrow, so they can make holes in the wood of the trees and pull out the insects that live there. And those are our correct answers from part 1. All right, so in this part of the lesson, you're going to watch this video. You must watch this video before doing questions 1 through 3. So this video is going to show you a diagram. So this video is going to show you a diagram, the one that is shown here, and this video is going to explain what this all means here. Okay, so if you notice here, the center circle is showing you what type of food these birds eat. Plant food means leaves and seeds. Animal food is bugs, and so on. Okay, as you go outside of the middle circle, you see what kind of bill it is, and you see what these types of beaks can do. All right, and this on the most outer circle, they have the different types of species of finches in the Galapagos. All right, if you extend these lines for each of the species, you can see that the large ground finch, for example, eats mainly plant food. They have crushing bills and edge crushing types of beaks. Okay, so that was a very short version of what this video is explaining. I recommend you watching the video in its entirety. It's only a few minutes long, and the person goes through each of these rings in the diagram thoroughly. Okay? All right, so let's take a look at these 3 questions based on this video that you should watch before you do the questions. All right, number 1, a new finch is found to eat seeds. What is one finch from the diagram that could compete with this species for the same seeds? All right, so what is a bird in this diagram that would also eat seeds? All right, you are going to type your answer in here. So which one of these birds do you think would also compete for seeds based on this diagram? All right, once you've typed your answer, you're going to move on to question 2. All right, question 2. Bacteria killed the insects on one Galapagos island. Among the birds living there, the finches most likely to have a decrease in population size would be what? Would be what species of bird? All right, so we have a bacteria that kills all the insects, kills the animal food. Which finches would be the most affected by this in a bad way? Would it be 1, the warbler finches, 2, the cactus finches, 3, the large ground finches, or 4, the medium ground finches? Which type of finch would be the most affected by losing their food source, insects? All right, take a moment to select your answer. And now we're moving on to our last question. All right, we have question 3. Which finch population would be negatively affected if the small tree finches increased in population size? So, which finch species would be the most negatively affected if there were too many small tree finches? So, who would be the most negatively affected if there were too many small tree finches? Would it be 1, small ground finches, 2, cactus finches, 3, large ground finches, or 4, large tree finches? So which finch would be the most affected if there were too many small tree finches? So what competes with the small tree finch? 1, the small ground finch, 2, the cactus finch, 3, the large ground finch, or 4, the large tree finch? Take a moment to select your answer. Once you are done, you're going to click submit, and that is it for our Tuesday lesson on the evolution of finches in the Galapagos Islands.